Hey guys, this is Matt from the Math Helpers and welcome to this video. Before we go into this chapter, I just wanted to cover some basic terminology you should be familiar with. To begin, we're going to be talking about a function. And a function is denoted by the letter F, standing for function, of a certain value, or variable, let's say x. And a function of x could be something like x squared minus 2x plus 1. And that is our function of x, meaning we could substitute a certain value for x and get a value for f of x. And f of x is exactly the same as y. So meaning if you get a set of values for x and a set of values for f of x, you'll be able to plot a graph of your function. You also need to be familiar with what a variable is. And a variable is simply a letter that denotes a value, in this case x and y, that varies, meaning that you can change it. And in our function we can obviously change the value of x to get different values of y. So that is our variable. You need to be familiar with what a constant is. And a constant is a fixed number, meaning it does not change. So in the case of our function, our constant will be 1. But usually we define a constant as c, standing for constant. We also need to know what an expression is. And an expression is simply this part of the function, and an expression is just a set of variables and constants that do not equal anything. In this case it will be the x squared minus 2x plus 1. Oops, sorry about that. Plus 1. There we go. So you also need to know what an equation is. And an equation is simply an expression that equals something. Usually equals 0, meaning we're able to solve and get a quantifiable value for x. We're able to solve an equation and get a value of the variables in the equation. You also need to know what a term is. And a term in this, in the function that we had, or the expression that we have, terms are these sets of variables and constants. And a term is simply a variable or constant separated by the pluses or minuses. So our term here will be minus 2x. It could also be x squared or the 1, and we could say that the x squared is our first term, the minus 2x is our second term, and so on. So that's our term. You need to know what a coefficient is. And a coefficient is simply a quantity of the variable. So in this case, minus 2x, we're basically saying that there's minus 2 lots of the variable x, and the minus 2 is our coefficient. It will be exactly the same for the x squared term. There's 1 lots of x squared. And the final term you should be familiar with is an index. And the mathematical term for an index is simply a power. So for the x squared, our index is 2, because that is our power. And these are simply the terms you should be familiar with. Anyway, you should familiarize yourselves with these terms and make sure you're comfortable with them before you continue with the video course. I hope this video helped, and I will see you guys in the next video.